Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the My Unsolicited Opinion podcast. I am Joy. I'm a co host, Ty, and in Allen. And y'all, we just having some girl talk today. I know you heard it all on the shade room. We've been following this story about Derrick Jaxn and Danae for what about 2-3 years now. And I used to love the show that Gabrielle Union was on, like being Mary Jane, because I was like, oh my God, I am Mary Jane. Right now, we are all Danae Jackson. We done been there, done that, felt that. But I love this interview so much because she is everybody. She represents all black women. Now I say all black men on purpose. So we're gonna talk about her. We're gonna talk about the interview. If you haven't seen the interview, you gotta go watch it after this. But if you're new here, please make sure when you're coming in, you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. But we just gonna have a little chit chat today about unpacking the relationship between Derrick Jaxn, relationship guru, and his and now ex-wife Danae. So, what's up, y'all? Hey,
Oop, here I go. What is going on? Okay, girl, I watched this interview, and I will say this. She looks totally different from when
y'all,
she was sitting next to him with the beret,
the helmet of salvation.
and trying to salvage his career. I mean, she had a little glow to her. Okay, and she lost about 230. I don't know how much you weigh. She lost about 230 pounds. You understand what I'm saying? So she's looking,
Fit, feminine, and friendly.
okay. She's looking so much better. And so I, just like you, Joy, I enjoyed the interview because it allowed her to speak her truth. And she spoke very, like, I think we said it before, she spoke very coherent, very eloquently. It wasn't, we seen the videos of her, throwing Bible scriptures and all kind of things at people because of, what they were saying about her and her marriage. But I thoroughly enjoyed listening to her interview. And we only got the part one today, but the part two is supposed to come out tomorrow, which is a little bit more salacious. I think, just like looking at some of the trailers for it, but I enjoyed it. What you think about it, and Alan? What you thought?
I thought it was a good. Can y'all hear me? I thought it was a good interview. I thought it was very, very interesting. Now, some of the things she shared, she probably should took some of it to the grave. Some of these secrets we keep for these men, some of them we need to keep for ourselves. Cause I'm like, Lord, it's like for my man. Y'all ever seen that show? For my
Mm-hmm.
man. It's like, oh my goodness, what we willing to do for my man. But if the man is not reciprocating that, sometimes you gotta have, some pride about yourself. But I'm glad to see her the way she was looking today. She looked like, weight was lifted off her shoulders. You could tell, she's still going through it. Cause you be with somebody for that long,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a while to kind of shake off all those, cobwebs to get back out here to your real
Yeah.
self. But I was happy to see her as well. Yeah, so I thought it was a good interview.
So yeah, I mean, let's get into it a little bit. She starts the interview off, and I'm so grateful that the host, and I can't remember his name at the time, but he allowed her to kind of share her backstory a little bit, and not to go too deep into it, but she was raised in the Midwest, Colorado. I think she said Denver. And, I think she said her parents were either split or divorced or something of the sort. So she was always looking for, that affection from her dad. Um, and then I think as she got older, she went to, I think she went to Tuskegee, right? So I believe she said she was in an all white like high school at one point, and then she kind of, moved on and went to Tuskegee University, which is a HBCU. And so that's where she met her future husband, Derrick Jaxn, who was, I believe, was an athlete, football player there, and she kind of like coined herself as like, the nerdy, smart girl. I think she said like pimple face kind of like girl type, and they kind of met They kind of met by him. They were in a class together, and I think he wanted to be tutored, so to speak. So let me ask y'all a question, because we all went to HBCUs, right? When you got there, or let's just say, just in your whole college experience, did you ever meet a guy who wanted to be tutored by you in a class?
Now
Joy.
they was a little more forward than that. Yeah. I
I
stayed in a co-ed dorm. Shout out to the Aggie Suites. It was brand new, and I was a freshman, and it was boys across the hall, down the hall. We was, yeah, it was. They was a little more forward than that.
I did have a couple of dudes want me to tutor them, but y'all know I still have my boyfriend from middle
Right, right,
school and
right.
high school. He was there,
From
so
what, sixth
I was
grade?
yes, and I was faithful. But I did, some people did want me to tutor them. So, I was
But
like,
you
I'm gonna have
didn't
to
tutor.
pass. Nah, they weren't paying me to tutor. People had work study for tutoring, and I'm like, y'all utilize those resources. Okay.
Utilize the resources on campus that they
Yes,
provide for you. That's
yes.
what your tuition goes towards.
Right, right.
I will say that I remember being asked by a guy to be tutored. I think in one of maybe our business classes. I was a business major, and that did develop into something more than just going over the homework, right? Not like that same day or whatever, but yes, I think I can relate to her in that way where the guys come. That's how they try to get in. Like, hey,
I'm
we're
dumb. Pick me. What
right,
is
right,
that
right.
like?
We in this class together, can tutor? And he was an athlete too, so I'm pretty sure, like, he was like, hey, can you help me out with this class?
He really needed help. He really needed it.
Okay. So I could definitely relate to her in that instance. But she said they were 19 when they met, of course, and she talked about some of the things that I guess made her attracted to him. And so I'm gonna play this little clip of the interview of what some of the things that she felt like were attractive.
While you doing that, Miss Ty, let's see who we got in the chat at the My Unsolicited Opinion podcast tonight. We got Mama Bear, our moderator, number one mod. She says, "Good evening, ladies. Good evening, Mama Bear. We missed all of y'all in the chat. My sexy is strong, fellow HBCU grad." She
Hey,
says, "Evening, ladies." Welcome to the podcast.
hey
We got
now.
our girl Celeste, the dentist, the doctor. She says, "Hello, hello, ladies." She gives us is that a hug and a purple heart? You already know, y'all. Let's go. Tonight, this is going to be a good one. We are so excited. This is a good topic. We know y'all ladies want to, chime in, let us know what y'all think about this. And Miss Danae Jackson, new and improved, like, I'm getting back to my old life, shedding out that dead weight. Y'all know what time that is. And fellas, whenever y'all get in here, let us know what y'all think about it. About this good woman right here. Just being misused and abused by her husband, Mr. Derrick Jaxn.
Whew, all right, y'all. So here goes. This is what she found attractive to her.
So
What attracted you to Derek?
he's very charming. He's very charming. When you see him, he has a charisma and a presence about him that is just like it sucks you in automatically. And then he's very funny. And so that humor drew me in as well. Of course, he has the looks to go with it. So there's
So
that.
it's a perfect little balance of
Yeah, it's a
everything, huh?
perfect balance of it all.
And so when you first saw him, did you just see him as somebody that, oh, I'm interested in him? Where is he pursuing you, or y'all start off as friends and it evolved to something greater, or
No,
what?
so I actually was very quiet. Again, I'm pretty much pretty quiet overall and to myself, but he see me in class. I was the quiet girl in class, and he was like, "Hey, are you a model?" I was like, I used to do some modeling, right? Because I had all these pictures of me doing some modeling stuff from high school and all that on my little binder.
Yeah.
I'm still having this high school mentality with all the pictures on the binder. So I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to put all these picture collage on here, right? And so I had all that on there. And he was like, "What? Did you model?" And I was like, I used to do some modeling." And he's like, can you tutor me?" And I was like, Yeah,
So he
right.
wasn't just a quiet girl; he was a smart girl too.
Yes, quiet and smart, right?
All right, y'all. So that's kind of what drew her into him. And so here's the question. here's what I'll ask all of you is Derrick Jaxn has been he is known for being this relationship guru, right? And he's known to speak, I guess so called on the side of like women, right? Giving advice to women and how they, should, basically put their crowns on, adjust it or whatever, be who they are, be all of that. A lot of men aren't necessarily fond of his message. They think he panders, but you see what attracted her to him, right? Do you think those are the same things that attracted, like, I guess, his fan base
Yeah.
to him as well? Are those the same things that he used?
I ain't finna lie to y'all. I'm a step out from the shadows. I too am a victim of Derrick Jackson's rhetoric. Um,
And for
in
$1 a day.
2019, in 2000, I think it was 2019, I was going through a thing with a person and I just was like depleted. Why? How did I get here? Like, I'm in shambles. And I would see his stuff. I think I probably followed him. Maybe they were posting stuff on the shade room. I don't even know how I found this man, but he was attractive. He had I like the thing right here,
The traps,
that,
the
Trap.
shoulders.
yeah. He had that. He was well spoken. I like smart guys. I'm like, okay, I bought him, and he had like some sort of like support group. Because basically he was saying like this is how you need a support team to get out of the situation and to make sure you don't go back, and women saying nice things to other women, and what I think it was like maybe I don't know $20 a month, something like that. That
Oh,
second
wait,
month I
hold
was
on.
like,
Derrick Jaxn had a support group.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it was I can't remember the name of the thing. I mean, we all in social media. You know how the thing goes. Like you start the thing and then you branch off and try to get, you know, more income. So it became like a subscription type thing or whatever. And so he would come on, and again, this 2019, I'm trying to remember, but I believe he would come on like once a week, like and do like a little private live. And then it would be like, he would talk that game. It would be dark, he would have and had a shirt on, and he'd be like, ladies, you don't need this in
Looking
your
like
life.
Kevin Samuels.
Oh my God, he's doing all that. It would be like a whole thing, and it's like, I don't deserve this. You're right. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, for real. I mean, yes. So, yes, absolutely. He was selling exactly what she described. He bottled it up virtually and sold it, on social media to women that were like, damn, he fine, girl. Oh, he had the whole package, just like she said. So, yes, yes. It lasted, like I said, that was like maybe like 30, 60 days. I was like, this is stupid. Let me get off of here.
Oh, it's stupid because I thought you were available.
I was like, this is dumb. I'm doing
But
it.
what about you, Natalie? You feel like the same thing he sold. I would say sold Denia. He was selling to all the women in the world, all the black women in the world.
I think he was trying to for sure, and hearing from my dear sis Joy here, he was selling it. People was buying
Yeah.
it. But I have trust issues. I know, what K Michelle say, more issues than Vogue. So I already when I heard it, I was like, that sounds like some mess to me. Soon as he started talking, I was like, this is not. No, people are not like that. Men are not like that. And I really, to be honest, I have had like some decent men around me. My dad, even these relationships I've been in, even a marriage. I just still was like,
Mm-mm,
he ain't my
mm-mm.
type either though. But I still was like, I
Man, ain't
can't.
so tight. That man don't be.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't. I don't believe nothing he's saying. He sound like he be on some mess. I can't believe it.
I would say this. When I first saw him, I think he was like in a car or whatever. He had a little muscle shirt on or whatever. And I was not, I guess I wasn't easily impressed. Now, what he was now I would say this. What he was saying, I was like, yes, like, go off. You know what I mean? Like, for the words that he spoke, but like he didn't draw me in enough to want to follow him or anything like that. But of course, I think he, like during that time with Facebook, and I think Facebook was real big. I'm acting like Facebook is not like as big as it is right now, but at that time, like I would see it come through my news feed or Instagram or something like that. I would see it, and every now and then I would stop to hear what he had to say. But after like the first, one, two, three videos, I kind of pretty much know what he's gonna say. But I know a lot of women used to use those videos to kind of like get their point across to like men. Like I know a lot of my friends would like take his videos and like send it to their boyfriend or whatever and be like, see, y'all need
Yeah.
to get it together.
Derrick Jaxn knows.
See, you understand? But I mean, like I said, I could understand. So not to say that he's not an attractive man. He's a very attractive man. I believe,
Yeah.
he's like what 6'4" or something of the sort.
Yeah, he a
He
big old.
clearly
He a big one.
okay, he's in the gym. He was former college athlete. So I can see why a lot of women, black women especially, would were drawn into the what you say $20 a month.
I think I was literally on my email. I was like trying so hard to like remember the name of the group. I don't know if it was an app. I can't remember, but I was trying to figure out like if I could find some evidence, but
Right,
I
right,
can't
right.
find anything in my email. But effectively, it's almost like he's a virtual rebound guy. Think about it. If women are drawn in because they are, depressed, sad, and lonely, or whatever verbiage you want to use, that is along the same lines, and you got this fine man, it's like, no, girl, you got it going on, girl. It's you, sis. Like, you
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
oh, for $20 a month, I could talk
for
to you.
for 6 cents a day.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
talk to you virtually. And I mean,
Yes.
it was like, and like my mem was trying to like come back. It was like a message board. Like women would tell their success stories about okay, like no ladies, if this was you, I'm not laughing at
Don't
you.
do your cohorts like that.
We should be laughing with each other because it's pretty funny. Okay, hindsight. But anyway, so like it was like a message board, and like women would go on there. I'm not lying. They would have these long monologue, Shakespearean accounts of how they seen the man after 7 months, and he tried to get with him, and they kicked him to the curb, and it was a whole bunch of, yeah, girl, you go, girl, that's right, 6 o'clock in the morning. What is, get this off my phone.
Oh, you're so silly. You're so silly. So what they say in the chat though? Everybody that's in the chat, what do you think drew all of these women into him? Do you think it was his looks? Do you think it was the message? Do you think it was a combination of both? Do you feel Denia when she says like he was funny, he was charming, he had the looks? I mean, are you feeling that, or were you like, yeah, no, I wasn't with it?
Celeste says, first of all, I'm glad she dropped the helmet of salvation. She appears to be in a better space. Thank goodness. Yes, she's giving her real life right now. Yes, but she was like, Derek had me wearing all that. Let's be real. Derek had her doing that. My sexy is strong. She said he was running game from day one. So when he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Girl, you gonna tutor me?"
That was it.
and his muscles was jumping up out his shirt. Hold on,
That was
it
it.
was like jumping
He
up out his
saw she could be a victim.
Look,
yeah.
my sexy is strong. She went to HBC. She know when a dude come over and say, "Hey, can you tutor me?" I'm pretty sure.
She know what
Yeah.
that's about. It's like, oh, okay. You want my phone number? Yeah, here you go. My sexy strong said she's so innocent. She didn't get it. She didn't. And
No.
when you not,
Nah.
it's like it can be a culture shock. Like where I like from middle school, like well from K through like middle school, my school was mixed. But when I got to high school, it was majority us. And I got to college, it was like,
Hey,
man, you
hey,
ain't never seen nothing like this in your life. And then this guy here is a football player. Like he's coming to you, and you like a little nerdy girl. You say from Colorado. You ain't even from the South, so
girl,
you ain't never seen no men like this before.
black men, right?
They be
What?
eating collard greens and cornbread. They don't make them like that.
What? and they can run the ball, and they athletic and strong, and they could probably pick you up.
And he picked her. She kept saying that
I
throughout
Mm-hmm.
the interview. She kept feeling like she was chosen. She was the one. She was the chosen one. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it just, like I said, it just, it's a gift and a curse to be able to have a magnetic personality. You know, it could be used for good, but in this case, I think it was used inappropriately, because, like I said, it is even conveyed through a computer or through a phone. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she was a goner from day one.
She would. My sexy strong said women used to love his videos.
Yes, they did.
Celeste is living her life. When Joy said it was like he was a virtual rebound,
I felt that.
it's like some of these people, like they are so good on social media. They talking to that camera. You be like, are they talking to me? Are
Yeah.
they
They be
talking to me?
real.
I'm like, it's like he talking to me. I really feel like, can he see me right now? So yeah, you feel like that's your dude. Like I'm gonna drop this one over here. I'm strong enough, and this man right here gonna help me get on. Get
Yep.
on over this situation. Mama Bear said he was an attractive man, saying things that uplifted women. I understand why women were drawn to that. That is the point. That is it right there, Mama Bear.
That's it.
My sexy strong said he is easy to get sucked into, but after a while, you hear him and realize the game. He is running game. So
Like
yeah,
a football, like a running back.
what?
Okay.
Lumpy belly coming in with the drama. All you got to do is talk like a preacher. Black women will be eating out of your hands. You got to talk like a preacher. You got to have them traps though. Joy told y'all about them traps.
This
They got
part right here, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
This
yes.
part.
They got that, and they got yeah,
You
and a
know, a
flashlight.
little broad shoulder, got a
That's
little
it.
bicep,
Woo.
tricep.
Yeah. Oh, this
And
part
then
right here.
it's like, and then they coming to you, and you like, who me? Little old me? Okay,
Little
yeah,
me. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So she goes into, how they met, and then, she kind of goes into, she said something that was surprising to me, but when I think about it, I'm like, "Oh, it kind of makes sense." But she talks about how long it took them, to get married, and then she talks about kind of like the way up into that. And so I'm going to go and play this clip real quick, and then we can talk about it on the other side. Oh, I should have had it. Okay. All right, y'all. My bad.
19. Are y'all around the same age?
Yes, he was 19 as well. He's 5 months older than me.
5 months older than you. Y'all both 19. Y'all both in college. And when did it change from dating to engagement? How long did that take?
9 years.
9 years.
Yes, we got married 9 years later.
9 years later.
So it's a long time.
That's a long time. But it makes sense when you start off at 19.
Yes.
It's like, so you got married around 28.
Yes.
About 28.
Yep, I was-
That's how old I was when I got married. So you're 28 years old, and y'all were in a committed relationship. Were there any infidelity or cheating during that 9 years?
I can't really say commitment is a big word. So let's tone that down a little bit. Commitment is a big
Who else got
word.
tone the word commitment there?
We do.
Y'all was in a relationship.
We got to tone it all the way down.
Okay, we're gonna
Bring
tone it down to Danae. What we gonna
So
call it?
we're gonna call it a situationship.
Y'all was in a situation.
We was in a situationship for a long time.
So y'all never. So when y'all
So when-
after 3 days in love, y'all didn't say let's make it official.
We were technically official, but there was a lot of on and offs agains, right? In that, so that's why I say when we talk about commitment, we got to tone it all the way down. We got to go back to the elementary level of the word and start at the beginning.
Yeah, start at the beginning.
And,
Okay.
and yes, there was commitment at times.
At times.
At times, but there was a lot of on and off again. Okay, and through college and even after college, lots of on and off again. And so, leading up to our marriage, we were actually off. Right, we were actually off. We were living in North Carolina at the time. 2015, going into 2016, late 2016, we went our separate ways because there was other people involved, and there had already been other people involved even in college, right? And so
Be
through that,
specific. Other people, what you mean?
other women, there was
Did you ever have other guys that you were dating?
there was okay in college. There was a guy, Fabian, who I
You
was
didn't say the
talking.
man's name. You didn't say the man's name. Favorite,
Listen,
mind his own business. He over
listen,
here watching the Dear Future White podcast.
he's
All right. All right, y'all. So basically, she talks about that lead up into their marriage. They were together since she was 19, and then 9 years later, they got married. And just in between that time, they were on again, off again. Just how, like, I would think around that time, especially in your 20s, right? That's really how relationships kind of go. At least that's how it is for me. On again, off again. Are we together? She said, tone that word commitment all the way down. So what do y'all think about that timeline at least?
Uh,
Go
well,
ahead, Joy.
oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I
No,
don't really.
she got it. I go. Go ahead. You got it, girl.
I ain't really mad at the timeline, to be honest. Like, 19, you start dating somebody in college. But 9 years is a long time. I mean, like that. I was 29 when I got married, but we had, known each other like 2 years. And then we was engaged one of them years. So, but that's her situation. She said they were on and off. I don't like on and off. I don't do on and off. Either we on or we off. And that's it with me. And cause I ain't gonna have no break babies. I ain't having no, we were on a break like on Friends with Ross. We not doing that. We off or we on. And
Okay.
that is it. We ain't back on. We ain't confused. We ain't like, I'm like where we stand. And that, has worked for me and against me at times where I'm like, what we doing? And I'm
Okay.
prepared to go either way. If we break up or if we stay together, I'm like, no, I don't like limbo. I need to know where I'm at because we need to set these rules, and I need to know if somebody's crossing the line. And I think there's a little bit of where she made a mistake there. Cause Derek is the blame. He shouldn't have been doing all this, but she had to like set her own like line in the sand. Like this is what I'm accepting. This is what I'm accept. But 9 years, it feels a little long. It feels a little long, but I mean, from 19 to 28, were
It
they
ain't no
ready
feel.
before that? Yeah, I
It
don't.
ain't no feels. Do you know what can happen in 9 years? You can have multiple presidents. People done been born and died. All types of things. Like you can go to a whole new millennium. I'm all types of things go on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was very clear, and I mean, this is shade. Okay, I'm just gonna let's do it.
Go on, girl.
Yo, my unsolicited opinion. Speaking from the woman that's gonna die with cats, as the woman that's gonna die with cats, and the woman that has hit the wall and slid down, that don't know man won't. I'm all of the things. So y'all get
All of the
uh,
above.
throw, throw the tomatoes. It's okay. Yo, 9 years is a long time. I've heard far too many times where a man has said, "Oh, I knew when I met her. I knew after the second date. I knew in 3 months." Whatever it is. I've also heard on this platform far too many times where the time frame is something like maybe 6 months. Something it doesn't take years and years and years. And I completely get the whole like we in college, we just kicking it, it ain't that serious. But I can also counter that with several stories of people that I know that are still married to this day. We graduated college in 2005, and it's a couple that I know they live in Raleigh and they do real estate together in Raleigh. And they just celebrated their anniversary last week, and they got married 2 weeks after graduation. So, I mean, there are lots of stories that can be like that. So, my whole thing is, and somebody mentions in the comments, like she ignored like all the red flags. It's yes, and we do that. We put blinders on, and we don't care, and we gonna ignore it. We gonna explain it away, whatever makes us get through the night. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, if it's been 9, 10 years, it's probably not gonna happen for you. But if you good with that, then you good with that. But that's the thing. It felt like, from what I saw in the interview, she kind of boxed him in. I'm pregnant. I'm gonna have a baby. What we doing? I'm gonna move across the nation. Like, you know what I mean? And women, we do that. Like, and our own, like, that's who we are. That's we we love to put you between a rock and a hard place when we get the chance. Like, what's up? You know, we love a good ultimatum. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna call it both ways: good for men, good for women, whatever. But yeah, 9 years is a very long time, and especially when those 9 years of your puppy love, he was running up all and through all the halls and all of the dorms in all of the places.
I'm gonna say this about the timeline. I'm not mad at the timeline either because you meet someone. I could just imagine, if I met him at 19, I'm in college or whatever, and let's just say 2 years later, you know, he's like, "Oh, let's get married." I'm like, "Oh, I ain't never really seen you in the real world, right?" Like, yeah, we in college and everything, like, but it's sort of like an incubator, right? It's sort of
It
like
is.
like this petri dish of everyone, especially at a HBCU, right? So like I would have probably been like, yeah, let's get out here a little bit. The same way we were in high school, right? And now I know you've been with your boyfriend since you were in sixth grade.
Sixth
But it's
grade.
the same thing. Like if a boy would have proposed to me at high school graduation, not only would I be like, my parents would be like, nah, you need to get out here and see the world a little bit, right? And I feel the same way about college as well. It's like, okay, it's that so-called next step, but I don't necessarily. I mean, if I felt that way, then I probably would have ran with it at 22. I think we graduated like at 22, right? So like I probably would have ran with it because of my mindset, not necessarily that mature. But I'm looking back on it now. I'm like, yeah, nah, I couldn't see myself getting married before the age of 25. Now I'm an anomaly. I'm a little different, At the age of 22, 23, I was in Iraq, fighting for the country. So that's a little bit different. I had an accelerated path, but like I can't see like a normal person getting married that at that time coming straight out of college. But plenty, when I say plenty of people do it, they love to throw them stats out.
And then they be divorced at 25. So it cuts both ways. Like, let me be totally clear. I don't think nobody should be married before 30. That's just my personal opinion, my unsolicited opinion. I really don't, because I like you, it's a lot of immaturity. So I get it, but I also get that he played in her face too.
Oh yeah.
Like, we can all
Oh,
see he played in her face.
he
So that's I guess the part of it where I'm like, he was playing in your face from when y'all met. You know what I mean? The entire time. So what's this 9 years? And I also, empathize with her because I done been the girl. Like I said, I don't mind being honest. I'm pretty transparent. Like, I am Denia Jackson. Like, we have all been a part of her at some point. And the part that I feel that I can very clearly identify with is this: oh, I put in all this time, I don't want to lose. Because it becomes a point of, no, I got to hold on. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. No, no, it's been 4 years. No, okay, maybe next month. Maybe, okay, maybe this the last girl. Maybe. And it's this perpetual state of maybe next time. Maybe tomorrow's the day. Maybe next week, next month, whatever the thing is that's going to get you to that next level that you've already played out in your mind. This entire storyline that you've concocted in your head. She couldn't see it. She couldn't see the forest for the trees, but 9 years is a long time.
oh yeah.
Let
It's
us know what y'all think in the chat. Put a red flag in the chat if you think 9 years is too long. Put a red flag in
Is
the chat.
9 years too long when you a grown person?
I'm gonna say it like
Oh
this.
yeah,
Oh, if you over 30 and you got it and you in a 9 year relationship,
I
baby.
ain't been in no 9 year nothing. I barely been in a 9 year friendship at this age.
No, that mean
Put
I
a
don't care.
red flag in the chat, y'all, if y'all think
Mm.
9 years is too long.
If you are over 30, if you are over 40 and you in a situationship for 9 years, he is playing in your face,
If
baby.
you
I don't care.
Yeah.
25, to
Why
be
when you
honest, if
got
you
a situation
25,
ship? What if y'all live? It's not a situation. Y'all in a relationship because she was very clear, and that's the other thing I loved about this. She was like, okay, let's walk these words back a little bit.
Yeah.
Commitment, a little too strong of a word. I really like that. But I mean, what if you in a real like this? My man, my man, my man, my man, my man. You
You,
know,
I would say
We
this. I mean,
together real bad.
I'm gonna say it like this.
real
Not everyone wants to be, married at what, not everyone is striving for that, right? It's a lot of people that don't necessarily care for that. They rather just be in whatever, relationship they are with their significant other, right? So if you're not that woman or that man that's looking to be married, then baby, do what you do, right? But if you are someone who is, oh, you want to be married, you want to be a husband, you want to be a wife, and you are 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus in a 9 year relationship, and this person knows what you want, I don't care what excuse they give you for not proposing or for not making that next step. No, you just can't. Like, no, they are playing in your face. I, if you listen, I'm gonna speak from a woman. From a
what
woman.
they say? What is it? Cow, buy the cow? No, get you
Gotta
gonna
Buy
buy
by the
you
cow,
buy
you can get the
the
milk
cow?
for free.
I'm speaking from.
Yeah.
Listen, if you are a woman, and you looking to be married, and you are over 30 and you've been in a 9 year relationship, baby, he is playing in your face. I don't care what excuse he get. I don't care, oh, I'm waiting on this, or I'm waiting on that, or I'm trying to get this together, or I'm waiting for you to do this, or we're getting to this nah. Because from the men on this platform, they clearly say, just like you said, Joy, I knew from day 1, 2, 3, if I want it, I'm gonna get it, right? These alpha males, like, no, that's nothing is going to if they want you, they want to be married to you, nothing is going to stop them. Not your career, not your family, not your kids that you may have already. They are going to do what they want to do. That's what
Yes.
I get from this platform. They are going to lead and do what they want to do. And whatever baggage you come with or you don't come with, if they want to marry you,
They gonna pick them bags up and
they
carry them for
gonna
you.
marry you. So if you are now, I can understand a 25-year-old man like going back and forth, like, right? I get it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
But
saying?
not for
But
9 years.
but a 30, yeah, well, at 9 years, he's what, 35? He almost 35, right?
Yeah.
But a 35, 45, 55-year-old man playing in your face for 9 years? Yeah, no, I don't
I
understand.
can't get him a full year. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I was 25,
Oh,
this how I did it. This what I did. I had my long, my 9, 10 years, then I had another 4 year relationship after that. After that though, I was giving
come
them
on, give
10
us your
months.
prescription, doctor. What we
I
gotta
was giving
do?
them 10 months to a year. If it was like still a little shaky, I don't see nothing with you. It's like, what we doing?
Okay.
That's when you go, and you be like, I know he ain't ready. I don't feel like he ready. I'm not ready. But I'm finna go force myself out. Y'all ever been in a force out situation where they
Yeah.
like start acting up something? Derek kind of forced her out. He was acting up so
Good.
much. It's like, you ain't gonna stop me from doing none of this. You gonna still stay with me after doing this? Cause they don't want to be the one to break up with you. They want to make you break up with them. I feel like that's what was going on. So 10 months to a year. That's what I was doing at 25. I did it 2 times. And then my mama said, she's like, look, when I met my husband, she said, if he don't make it to August, then don't even worry about him. If you make it past August, that's who you gonna be with. Guess what? We made it. So that's what happened. Because it was like after the summer, when I was coming into August, I was not going into that season with this person if it was going nowhere. It was like that was it. So that's what I recommend. 10 months,
Right.
that's a good time to like know a little bit, pretty much enough about a person to
If
be
there's
like, if
any
I'm gonna
men
keep
out there,
going with this.
any men out there, you let us know. Let us know what is an ideal timeline. Now we know things change, situations, and everybody's different, and we get it, right? But like we said, we've heard it. I've known since day one. I knew 3 months in. I knew 6 months in. Whatever have you. What do the men think is an ideal, I guess, timeline to know? And if anybody in the chat come in here with 9 years,
Better
I'm a
not.
blocker. We need
I'm
to
a
block
better
them.
not. You done. You're done, son.
I'm
Don't worry
going
about it.
to. I'm just gonna shut this whole thing down.
That's it.
Not
We're gonna
right
close
here.
the laptop and go back to real life.
Yes. So
Yeah, I just
Mama Bear
no.
moments. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
no, go ahead. You got it. No, go ahead.
She says, I got my promise ring after 2 months and engagement ring after 2 years. 9 years with no ring, promise, or wedding is too long. I agree. I ain't giving them 9 years of nothing. Okay. Not
I know
even.
you seen these promposals and these little middle school, Jalen in eighth grade, and these kids doing the most elaborate things for their little girlfriends. With the, can you go to the eighth grade social with me? So yeah, a promise ring, baby, at the leak. Come on, sir. Like, give me
No.
some.
I had a
Any-
ring in middle school, okay? My mama made me give it back. My sexy and strong says, I don't think them 9 years is terrible if you're 18 to 20 when you meet. It is a long time, but I can understand it because of the age. Yes, I agree from 18 to
I,
20.
but you know what, Joy? You do make a good point, right? And 9 years is almost a decade, and that's a whole different time period. Think about it, going from 1980 to 1990.
I'm telling you,
True.
I had to put it
True.
in that perspective because I don't know what the difference between 2010 and 2020 or anything. So I said from the 80s to the 90s,
We
from the
can see that.
70s. Okay, we
Yeah.
can see that, right? From the
a
70s to
whole
the
genre
80s.
of music was born.
That's
Okay.
long.
They got rid of they had the MP3 players, the CDs. Now we don't have none of that stuff. So
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
you've been in jail.
It is.
And you come out, it's like I've
Yeah.
been with this
You on
person for all this
lockdown.
time, and then I get let out, and I get let out, and I don't have a place to go. It's like
And
you
that's
still
why the
didn't
women
marry
be
me
on
after all this
Snap.
time.
And that's how them people end up on Snap. You done wasted a decade of this woman's life. And she like, no, I'm leaving here with something.
My good years, y'all know how we be about them good years, baby. You ain't getting my 20s. You
They
you
say that
slid,
shit. Your
you
sexual
slid them 30s
reputation
off
is
from
key.
under me, low key, but you ain't getting no more. I ain't giving you another decade.
All right, all right. So that was kind of like the build up to in their relationship. It was on again, off again, and then she talks about getting pregnant, and I'm gonna pull up a clip about that, and then we can kind of talk about that. But it was she said something that was really surprising to me, and I don't think anyone kind of knew this about her. So I'll pull that up real quick.
A little bit longer, so literally passing each other on the stairs, like out the door. All right, have fun, your shift, you know, and, and literally, and so there was a lot of people involved at that time. We weren't in a relationship, so all the people that like committed relationships. So I was just on the rotation at the time, and I ended up getting pregnant with our first child. And it was in that I was like, okay, Danae, you got to figure out what you're doing with your life. You are
Yeah.
whole pregnant, and you can't get rid of this child because I had already had 3 abortions before, and the Lord had already dealt with me. And I was like, Lord, if you save me from this, I'm not going to ever do this again. Got pregnant. I was like, I can't go back on my word, Lord. I don't want you to kill me,
Yeah.
But so I started. Okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing with my life, and then I started getting a little bit more serious. Like, what are we doing? He was still doing, stuff with other girls. I knew about it, so I did still participate in some sexual activity and all that, knowing that he was with other girls. I was a willing participant, but it did start to take a toll on me mentally and emotionally
Of
because
course.
I'm pregnant,
Yeah.
right? So there was a lot of women involved in that time. And it was in that time that I had a conversation with his mom, and I was like, listen, I don't have another 7 years to give him. I'm trying to figure this out, and like I want to be with him. I want to do this, but I don't have another 7 years to give him, so he has to figure out what he wants to do. And then shortly after that, I'm getting a call from my mom, and she's like, I just got a call from Derrick asking me for your hand in marriage. I thought you were not in a relationship. I was like, we're not. We're doing this co-parenting thing. And she was like, okay, so what are you gonna do? And so I actually knew about the engagement, which he didn't know about, but I actually knew about the engagement and all that because my mom told me about it. She was asking me these questions because she was like, I thought you weren't in a relationship. And I'm like, we're not, you know? And so I had to figure out, okay, he's being serious. He called my mom. They
Did
don't
that make
even,
you excited? How'd
it
you
did.
feel?
I was so excited because I'm like, he called my mom.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because basically she goes on to say, that he ended up, they had like he ended up proposing to her, and then that started their marriage. So Denaya kind of revealed something there, and I don't know if any of the world knew prior to this interview, but she revealed something there that I think a lot of women could probably relate to. She said she had 3 abortions prior to having her first child. How y'all feel about that? Or what are your thoughts? I don't want to say how you feel about. What are your thoughts that she had 3 abortions prior to, and now listen, I believe she said this is like 7 years, into their relationship. So we're looking at, she's like what, 26, 27, maybe 25, and by the time she's 25, 26, she's already had 3 abortions.
I'm pro life. I'm pro choice. I mean, I'm pro people doing what's best for them. I say that, and I think that as much as she probably wanted to think that she was in control of herself or that she was okay with what was going on, I do not think that at any point in time she was okay with like taking a turn with this dude. She, and then because even why, what was wrong if she had got 3 already? She could have got a fourth one. Just to be honest, I'm gonna be honest. That's just my opinion, my unsolicited opinion, and I think that she wanted to be with him, and she was not okay with that. But she thought that's what she had to do to be with him, and that's how some people, men and women, both sacrifice or swallow their feelings, their pride to do what they think it takes to be with this other person when you don't have to do all that. I don't listen to them. If I just, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, they still going to do what they want to do. And really, it makes you think like, was it worth it? Because at the end of the day, they still ended up not together. They still not together. He
Right.
never stopped doing the things he was doing. So that's how I feel about that. She may have felt like, okay, this the fourth time, Lord. God was there the first 3 times. And to be honest, all sin is the same. So you had 3 abortions or 4, 5, 15, whatever. She been blessed to have some kids at this point, thank God, that's what she wanted. But I don't think she was not okay with this at any point in time. I think she just went along with it because she thought he was somebody. She looked up to him. She thought he was a catch. She had her self esteem wasn't where it needed to be, and I think that that's what that was. And it's sad, but I think that's how they ended up going. She was not okay with it. She wasn't.
I concur. Um, she wasn't. She wasn't okay with it. Again, kind of going back to what I was saying before about this need or this want to win. She the first time she's probably like, got him. Oh, ooh, don't got him. Okay, cool. Second time, oh, definitely got him. Oh, step. Ugh, okay. Third time's like, for sure, this for real again. Like we all seen Baby Boy. It just it that is the worst type of abuse. I don't know how else to classify it. I have personally never been confronted with the scenario where I had to make that type of choice. But I will say for any woman, regardless of where she is in life, financially, emotionally, professionally, got the money, don't got the money, got the man, don't got the man. That is never something that a woman can just do and just breeze on. It's gonna always be something within that woman that is going to hold on to that moment, much less have moments, multiple encounters like that. And she's very spiritual. very biblical, and I'm sure it tore her up. Having to be confronted with that over and over and over again. But he seemed to be perfectly fine with it because, hey, we're all adults here. We all know how babies are made. And this is not something that happened in the 50s and the 40s. They knew how to not have a baby. He was doing this intentionally. I feel. I believe that he was doing this to her on purpose. It's almost I control you. I can make you do anything I want you to.
Before
That's
you
unacceptable. I feel that's not okay.
before you continue, Joy, are you? So she didn't say, but I guess it's implied that those three abortions she had were she conceived with him. Is that where we're kind of
That's
going
what
with
you
that?
said.
She said that.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed it.
Yeah. These are his kids. Oh yeah.
Okay. If that's what she said, then okay, I'll go with it. I don't know if I seen heard that specifically. I know she said she had three abortions, but I don't know if she specifically said they were, you know, from
No,
him.
this yeah.
But if it was him, if it was him, then I do somewhat agree with you. To I've I've never had one, and so I don't know. I don't necessarily know the impact it has on someone. So I can't necessarily empathize with that. I can only um, speculate on how someone would feel after they have that. But to have three before you're even 30 years old, I know some women like that one was enough. Then to go two and three, that's another thing. Before this, and we kind of skipped over it. She was talking about how they were on again, off again, and she would go to his, I guess, apartment, and she would like breeze past other women that were coming to see him in the stairwell or in the breezeway or whatever. As she's coming out his door, there's another woman. They like tag teaming. All right, it's your shift. To go in there, and I can't. I feel you, Joy, when you say like, I just was pregnant by this man. I've had an abortion, right? And we still going through this.
I can guarantee you, them women that was rotate, they had the same situation. This man's a serial killer.
And so here's the
Like,
thing,
I
right?
say it jokingly, but not really. Like, because we've heard the story, shout out to Tasha K, where she's interviewed the women that this is what he does. This is his zhuzh.
Paying for
This
the
is his
paying for the
thing. This is
abortion.
the MO. This how he rolls. So she wasn't the only one. They need to
That's how
start
he
squad through.
control hoes, the 304s. That's how he control women. Like
Yeah,
for
it's
real.
control. I'm telling, it ain't no other way to put
That's
it.
a real soul tie.
You do this on purpose. We all know how people get pregnant. It don't be no, I can't stand when people be like, I can't believe this. You know good damn well how it happened.
And they be lying their ass off.
It may birth control. Shut up. Like stop. But whatever. But it is. It was an intentional act. It was he's a master manipulator. I mean he's talented. I don't know what else to say. I guess talent is the best way to use it because if we take that same exact energy and we apply it to YouTube and somebody got 1 million subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, we go, oh, they're so talented. No, they're manipulating. Like you say, you say what people want to hear. You do what you think. You know what I mean? Like, and you lead people down a particular path without them even realizing they being led down the path. And then they get there and they're like, how did I get here? How did this happen? And then the end result is the same every single time. And it's just this. And again, like I said, I will say repeatedly, I am Derrick Jaxn. I'm telling you from my own experience, every single time you go down this path to nowhere, you're hoping like, well, maybe it'll be different this time.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it'll change. And even I feel like I read something a while ago that says when you've been distanced from somebody for like 90 days, because you were talking about the off and on, you're psychologically you forget certain things. Have y'all ever been in a situation where like it might be
The block on
or
somebody.
whatever, and you like, oh, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. And then you get there, you be like, damn, I forgot why. Yeah, now I remember why we don't come here no more. It's like something happens that you almost forget certain things that are negative experiences. Like obviously not traumatic, but you forget certain things. It's kind of like, oh, okay, well, let's do it again. And you optimistic, and it's like, oh, I remember now.
Now she gotta stop doing that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. And like you said, with the recent, I guess, infidelity, him trying to pay for an abortion, I think you're right. I think it is his mo, and I don't believe that she was the first, second, third, or fourth woman who had, got that done by him. But here's the other thing: when she was finally pregnant with her first child, she said that even still there was infidelity, there were still women, and just think about, and she would still perform sexual acts, or she would still have sex with him. Just think about the risk you put yourself in. I mean, even when you're not pregnant, you still put yourself at risk, knowing that this man basically has a revolving door,
Yeah.
right? And he's having sex with you, and he's probably getting the next girl pregnant and paying for her abortion, and he's having all types of different. I mean, he probably got what's it called, Planned Parenthood filled,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Every
Oh
seat,
yeah.
right? And they probably know him. They probably got his credit card on file.
And
You
this was
Yeah.
before Plan B, wasn't it? Like Plan B is relatively new. That came out what last 10 years.
Well,
Like,
He
I don't
probably
know,
like
but,
kept it on. He kept it going. But
right?
they weren't
yeah.
using Plan B though. Yeah. He
No.
was just like raw
No.
everywhere. And ain't no telling like with his old nasty
Everywhere.
self, whatever else he was spreading between all them women.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So now you're pregnant, and you still know he has this revolving door, right? And he don't really give a damn if you're pregnant because he's gonna keep it going, right? And now you're putting not only yourself at risk, but now you're putting your unborn child at
Yes,
risk
yes.
for
But that's
whatever
the thing
these
about
other
denial,
people may
though.
have or what he brings back to you. That's
But
a
that's the
lot.
thing. That's the thing about denial. You can see something with your eyes, but you can explain it away in your head. So I'm willing to bet good money that she made up some sort of story where they weren't having sex. She sees these women. No, they're not. Even she can see
She didn't
it
have
like,
enough energy to
no,
connect
they're
with.
not
Right,
really
because
dating. No,
today,
I'm the only one. I'm pregnant, so I must be. There's no way if I'm
She just
pregnant, he would
talking
do
to
that.
them.
It's no. I'm telling you, like being able to lie to yourself is it's quite a talent.
They
It
call it
is.
delusional.
but you
It
mean like you
is.
talking about
It
at the
really
time when she was
is.
in her 20s. At that time, she was lying to herself because now it look, of course, hindsight is 2020. Is like, now I'm like, wow, like why did I allow myself to be in a situation like that where I'm just another, name on the list. I'm just being, checked off. And now she's being able to see that. And like I said, we talked about this before. We said it, earlier about how her being able to sit down and really like give her truth. This is outside of her, I call it Bible thumping and throwing out scriptures and trying to protect, I guess, what she thought was her marriage at the, this she seems coherent. She seems like she lives in reality when it came to this interview, right? I did these things. I allowed myself to do these things. These are the mistakes that I made. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what it was, and I've learned from that, and that's why I kind of I applaud her for I guess the growth she's made just in the last couple of years, to get herself to the, well, not even years. I want to say it's
Few
been a couple of
months.
months since the last
Yeah.
time she was cursing people and throwing
I
out things
know.
on your unborn. So like at least this gives like some type of, because at that time, I'm not even gonna lie, those videos I was like, yo, Shorty is crazy. Like Shorty is bonkers.
But that's
And,
him. That was him.
and it
Yeah.
was.
That was him. She was trying to protect him. She was
Mhm.
still trying to pretend like what they had was real. She wanted it to be like better so bad that she
Yep.
didn't mind like, making her own self look crazy because she knew, like I said, she
She
knew
knew. Oh,
when
she
she
knew.
was sitting beside him on that couch with that beret on. She knew. You could tell she was looking at him. She was kind of like, you would see like glimpses of like her like have a reality check and then she'd like get back in the character of like I'm a wife. Let me be that. This is the character I'm playing right now. I'm sticking with him. I've been knowing Derrick the longest. I don't know those people. You don't know them. They don't know our life at home. Whatever she was telling herself. And she was like, you would see her like, okay. And then she like, yeah, let me get back in character because I'm supposed to be supporting her. No, because these people on social media have a habit of like making you feel guilty for leaving these men, for treating you like this.
Girl, I
And it's
wasn't.
like, you don't have to stay for that. They don't know you. They don't know what you're going through at home. They like, oh, these women so quick to leave. 70% and 80% of the 70%. Yes. Because they
That.
don't have to be sitting there, at the lowest form of themselves as a human being, a living, breathing being, and just accepting that. That's what they want. Like, and if that's what you want, then we can't be cool. Because you don't want that for anybody you care about. And we don't know each other anyway. We all on social media. But 70%, that's what a lot of them walking out for. Not because I'm just not happy. And if I'm not happy because I'm fourth in line with my own husband, I'm pregnant and three other women pregnant too at the same time.
You got these Irish twins out here.
I'm not happy with that. That's enough to
But that
make a
happens a
person not
lot.
be happy. And
That
I
happens
think
a
that's
lot.
and I think that's a good enough reason. But some of these 70%, which I like to say a lot of them, I want to be optimistic and positive on that. A lot of 70% are walking out because they don't have to put up with it. I'm just gonna say it.
No, you shouldn't. And you should. I mean, listen, we were talking about earlier this year the guy with the seven baby mothers or whatever, and and that whole thing. I listen. I don't let nobody shame you for making a decision that's best for you, right? Because we seen the before and after when it comes to Denia. We seen what she looked like before. We seen how she was acting before in the public, like in public, right? Like we saw it, right? When that whole thing blew up with him, and and he got caught with this, to go immediately that same day and grab your wife from whatever she was doing, bring her downstairs, sit on the couch, and have this live where you just want to go and express, talk about your marriage and how it's intact and how does she, and that whole whatever it was. I'm looking at
We
this
didn't even
woman
know he was
like,
married. Did y'all
yeah,
know he was
nobody knew
married?
at that point, right?
No.
Nobody knew.
I'm
And I
looking
told
at
y'all I was up close and personal. Yeah, he ain't talking about no wife. I don't
this.
ever remember him talking about a wife.
And the way she looked, I mean, she wasn't ready. She had the beret on. She was not ready. She did not look ready. No matter how much they tried to mask it, we saw right through it. She was not ready to have that conversation, even though supposedly it was her idea to go live. And he was too busy trying to salvage his career. I think he had just dropped the book or was about to drop a book or something like that, right? Like, no. So whenever you find yourself in a situation, and this is not like, I'm all for people getting married, right? I want to be married one day, right? To the right one, right? Someone that's gonna allow me to be who I am, and then I reciprocate that in turn, right? But when you're sitting up there and you're in this box, and like they say, they want, they don't want to wear makeup, and they want to keep their hair natural, and all these other things, and that's exactly what she was giving, right? She
Yep.
was given natural woman. She was given,
She didn't have no
not
lip gloss or nothing on.
nothing. She was not giving. Somebody said
She
something
was
about
covered up head to
the
toe.
thought and all this other stuff. She was not giving that. And even when this woman was not giving everything that all the tropes about black women you see here on the internet, she was not giving that. She was giving wife. And I'm talking about she was giving it. I got it out the mud because I was tag teaming some of your mistresses, right? She got it out the
Just
mud
like
with
what
this
we have
thing.
the show.
Huh, you know what I'm saying?
Survivor.
Survivor. Like I stood, I stand 10 toes down with you through thick and through thin. Even when she was giving all that, married him before she was 30 and hit the wall, had his kids, and that's what she got That was her prize. And so then men wonder why we say they are not the prize.
And
Because
then
if that's the prize, go
even
ahead.
now though, she still looks like she's still presentable. What
Yeah.
like what why do you have to be down washed down like to nothing? Like don't wear no hair, don't wear no clothes, like don't put on any makeup. These women want to be caked up. No, we don't. We just don't want to be like if we on camera, we just
Right.
want to look presentable. Like
Right.
what's wrong with it? Like
Right.
you got to be looking like old huzzy in the streets.
And,
Oh,
and,
a hussy.
and so this is one of the things, right? Because at one of the clips, she says, the women that he cheated with, she says she probably knew their bodies better than they did. She studied these women's, their bodies and who they were, so that she could try to be that for him, right? And they were a complete. I mean, y'all see the thumbnail. What she looked like and what he was cheating with were total opposites of the spectrum.
And what
Now,
they
hold
were
on.
wearing,
Now
how
she,
they going out.
but she's still a very beautiful woman.
No,
Like,
that's no. I'm
like
not.
I think we're confusing the package with the packaging, right?
That's what we
Like,
talking about. Yeah, the
yeah,
package.
like she's a very beautiful woman. Like glasses, whatever the thing. Like she's still beautiful. Period. And those other women were beautiful women. Like
Mhm.
I haven't seen one that was like, oh, shit, what happened over here? Um,
But they
but
package it different,
but the packaging, but she's still very, very beautiful. It's not
right?
like he went from like, oh, this wholesome ugly woman. Like, I mean, it was kind of cute that she was like, yeah, I was like this ugly duckling and the pimples and but yeah, she got going
So,
on.
so
But
yeah,
he,
no
this
shade.
woman
I
he
don't
on here
believe you.
with, she got on the booty shorts and she got the tight tops on
Right.
and the weave down the back. And he didn't want his
Hmm.
wife like that. He didn't want her out
Hmm.
in public like that. He didn't want her at home like that. No,
Hmm.
you don't need that makeup. Yo, you don't need it. You need to just wear your hair curly. Don't wear it straight. Don't get a silk press. Don't
Do
even if
y'all
that's
believe in
not now.
doing that? Do y'all are y'all like
I ain't finna let him give me nothing.
women that are like, oh, well, if he likes it, this is the way that I'm gonna do it. Like, oh, he likes my hair like this, or he likes when I could. Like, are y'all like that?
Nah, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do because the way you met
But you
me,
don't listen.
I don't listen. I don't listen because I was telling y'all this before. My daddy would say stuff like that, and I'm like, "Your wife wear hair and makeup and all that too," and that's my mama. So
Right.
whatever. But the way
Lies.
if I meet somebody looking like this today, and then they tell me, "Oh, I don't like you wearing that red lipstick. I like you better like this," it's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't. You don't, because this is what you met me like this. You like this. And if you make me change to something else, you got something else going on. Because this right here is what you like, because this is what you saw first. So I
Yep.
don't care what your mouth is saying. I'm just going by what I see you doing. This is
Yep.
what made you approach me. So I think this is fine. And if I decide I want to do something else, then we can discuss that later on because then I'm changing on you. But if I'm doing this, then that's what you like
Yep.
to
Yeah,
me.
if I'm doing the same thing that I was doing when you met me, then that is exactly what you like. And now here's the thing: I'm a person who's, I would say, I mean, I think we all have changed appearances, changed hair, changed, the fact that back in the day we didn't have to wear makeup. All you needed was a little bit of matte lip gloss here and a book.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't need too much to bag one back in the day. But we've all, evolved and changed the way we look or whatever. But if
In
I
10 years.
in a decade, you're right, right? But I agree. Yes, if you met me this way, right, and I do something drastic, then we can have a conversation. But if I'm doing that same thing, I'm giving you the same zhuzh, I'm giving you the same me, and now all of a sudden you want me to do something different because oh, I like it. Women should be this way. And this is the way you should be. I'm calling your bluff. Like you are wild. No, you don't. No, you don't. Now, I wasn't, shading Denia on the way she looked prior. I think she's a very beautiful woman, and even his mistress, so to speak, those women were beautiful too within their own right. But you're right; it's about the packaging, and we always, as women, we are always judged and based off of our packaging, right? And men will say the
Absolutely.
same thing too, right? They'll say, women judge us too, right? Off of our packaging and this and that. And so it goes both ways. Um, but the thing is like I feel like men hold a lot of weight to the way women look. Because for me, if you got a lot of other things going for you, then I can overlook some things when it comes to your packaging, right? But for men, fit, feminine, friendly, you gotta look like something. It's like, nah, I don't want no booger wolf on my arm. You know what I'm saying, or whatever they determine a booger wolf to be. Um, but I just it's just to me it's just to I don't know what she looked like when she was at Tuskegee. I don't know what she looked like when she was at Tuskegee. I don't know. She said she was in the band. Y'all seen it? Remember the saxophone? She said she was in the band and all of that. But I know for her, and she set up and she talked about it in the interview, and we're gonna get into that clip. Like she would see these women, study these women, and try to embody what these women were. She said she would even watch him have sexual relations with these women
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
like a video, not in person. She said she would cry in the closet.
Yeah.
And that's the clip I'm about to cue up for y'all. And when she's talking about watching him and how what that made her feel like, which I can imagine any woman wanting to how they would feel if they saw a video or whatever of their man sleeping with another woman, especially their husband. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this clip, and then we can talk about it on the other side.
What did I get myself into, right? And now I'm practicing toxicity, right? I'm practicing toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it, and then either being passive aggressive or just super aggressive,
Yeah.
but nothing in between. And then he has no idea what's going on because he doesn't know what I'm freaking out
And
about.
what you done seen,
Right.
what prompted you to start looking through his phone?
I would always get like a feeling, or he would touch me different, right? So after most rape victims are very sensitive to touch, and so any sign of him touching me, any type of like any different, I'm like, there has to be some, there has to be somebody else, there has to be,
You're talking
right?
about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch, there has to be, right? And so I would go snooping around because I'm a snooper. And when you seek, you shall find. That is a true biblical verse. So if you don't believe in the word of God, listen, let me tell you, when you seek, you will find. And when you find, you have to know what to do.
And what's so bad about it? People will find something, but then they won't do nothing about it
Exactly.
because they weren't prepared to leave.
And that was me.
You was like, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna bust them, and then like, what you gonna do? Because you're not gonna even tell them that you busted
I
them.
did absolutely nothing. Sit there, cry, and okay, this is how I'm gonna get a little bit serious, right? Okay. I would seek and I would find, I would sit in closets and cry, and I would be in there wanting him to find me in the closet crying. And when he would come and find me in the closet crying, then I would say, oh, I'm just crying because I miss my dad. You know, I would blame it on something else. And they would always mostly be about my dad. Like, oh, I'm crying. But it's really because I just sat here and watched you have sex with, you know, or, or, you know, right?
No,
So,
Danae, that ain't no real people name. Is it? I don't want you throwing people name out here.
Don't worry,
All right,
Tasha
girl.
K already did, babe. Don't even worry. We know.
All right, so that was that, right? So she talks about dealing with seeing him in his infidelity, excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry, seeing him in his infidelity, then crying and not necessarily releasing. But there was one thing in that clip too that kind of stood out to me, and that was when someone she said, "When you seek, you shall find." And I think he said, when you find, what you gonna do? And I always reference this other clip from another famous show, The Braxtons,
Tamar,
where
yes.
Tamar, where she says, and I think Tony was in on this too.
Yeah,
She
her
says,
mama
"Listen,"
too. The mama
and the mama
started it.
too, right? She says, "Listen, if your man is cheating on you, and you ain't got no plan, you might as well let that man cheat in peace,
That's
because
it.
the moment you let him know
Then
that
you
you know
know.
he's been cheating and you don't leave, you've already set the new standard, and he's going to continue to do it."
Yes.
So
Yes.
how y'all feel about snooping through, trying to find things, female intuition, looking through the phones, going, how y'all feel about doing that? 'Cause she said she's a snoop.
I'm not. That ain't my thing.
No.
I don't
You
have
gonna find something.
you gonna find something.
If you feel your gut is already telling
You
you.
already know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just would be doing that for confirmation and really like, are you ready for it? Because you really gotta be like, I'm leaving, and you gotta go, and you gotta stay gone.
Here go to stay gone. Okay. Okay. Here's why you need your own job and your own money. Cause where you going, sis, with no money? To the kitchen to cook dinner.
That's it.
That's it.
Either there or to the courthouse.
You going to the courthouse. You ain't got no money. You ain't got nowhere to live. You got babies. You going to the kitchen. You going to the kitchen and you gonna
You
cook
about
dinner.
to come
What
on
you
up.
want, babe?
Or you
You
gonna
want
go
this
to your
steak
mama and them
rare?
house, and then they gonna get tired of you, and you gonna go back.
Gotta
You ain't going nowhere.
I wholeheartedly agree. I am so far past snooping, right? Like, for your own sanity,
Yeah,
right? It's like y'all said, if you already have that gut feeling that something's going on, then baby, go with it.
it's real.
I would say, I mean, I'm talking about people, sane people, right? There's some people out there that think everybody cheating, right? I'm talking about sane people, and I guess some crazy people think they sane, but whatever. You understand what I'm saying, right? You don't just go around accusing people you really don't have any type of evidence or proof or whatever. But I mean, as women, reasonable women, you could pretty much tell when something ain't right. And she said it, right? Her being, assaulted prior, and just the way he touched her, if that was different, she felt like, okay.
But to be honest, too, they been having, a rotation in their relationship, situationship, marriage, and possibly divorce. Because sometimes people be backsliding in them divorces. I'm just saying.
That separation.
So it's like, did you ever really establish like, this is the baseline for me and you? Because
No.
was it ever just him
No.
and her?
No, it was not. And that's what I'm saying. That's where the mind games come into play. It was never him or her. Ever, never, ever, ever, and he never meant for it to be. He never meant for it to be like that. That wasn't the intention. He
You
did exactly what he said he was gonna do. And hey, whatever. But I will say this: he better be grateful to God that he's even alive, um, because this is it's embarrassing. Like, embarrassment will drive people to kill. You know what I mean? But the hurt, the psychological damage that she's experienced, the
Nah.
humiliation, he needs to be grateful to the Almighty God, Almighty Father, that he is still able to breathe this oxygen and walk on this earth. Because this could have gone terribly bad for him.
Yeah. Mama Bear Moments, she's along the lines of joy. She says, I will be studying true crime, not his adult takes, because there is no way. Okay. How
oh,
can I get away
look,
with?
Georgia said it right.
My
You
sexy and strong
lucky.
says women know when a man is cheating. You do. You do. You feel it. You know, and I hate when I'm like this. When I find out they'll lie, or when I'm out of that phase where it's like, you just all into them, and then you like realize they're a person. It's like, oh
That's
shoot.
that. When
And
the
if I have
mask.
some things going on with me, and I can't trust you, I can't tell you, I can't share it with you, then I know I gotta go to him. I can't tell him I got a problem. Like this is something that's wearing on me. I gotta eat this because I can't tell him. I can't. It's like I can't live like that.
Mm-mm.
Real Bravado Network. Welcome to the My Unsolicited Opinion podcast. He says, shout out to us. Great convo. Thank you. Thank you. Yes,
Thank
y'all
you.
welcome. Real Bravado Network says again, men been telling y'all for years that this dude was a lame and a con. Black women kept shouting us down about this clown ass ninja. No. Now I'm tell you who was with him. Who had
No, y'all didn't like that he was calling it out for what it was. He wasn't doing nothing but describing himself. Instead of being like, y'all, let me tell y'all what I did tonight. He was like, yeah, and if a man says this, and that, what it really means is this, and this, and this. Yeah, y'all, that's the part y'all didn't like.
That's
It
all
was
right.
playing. And then, and that's a great bridge to this. So I watched a clip from O'Shea Duke Jackson's page, his channel, and he talked about it and kind of broke it down. And his whole stance was like, yo, like you really got us looking bad in these streets. And like my whole goal is to be like, nah, it's the women and not the men. But in this case, yo, bro, it's you and you making all this money off of it. Here's here's the thing that I find to be interesting about the comment section. Yeah, she didn't deserve that. That's horrible. I can't, yeah, dog, I can't believe that either, man. Why he gonna do it like that? The same reason you do your girl like that. Y'all gotta stop with this. This is fake. Y'all, this is exactly what y'all be doing. Like, the whole thing is the doors have been blown off. Like the miracle cure, we know we can make the concoction at home now. We get it, we see it, we know the book, we know the play. It's been ran. You need to go back to the playbook and rewrite some new plays because we see it. We see it coming. We know how you rolling. And that's ridiculous because you all of them men that was like, I can't believe he did her like that. You be doing it too.
Oh, and I'm
Women
pretty
do not
sure.
be out here like in these streets like that. Like women are not, we're not built like that. Women are not built to be, going and, from bed to bed. I gotta choose my language
Yeah, I
carefully.
know what you about to say.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're not. And part of the reason why we're not, like I don't know if y'all know, it's this thing called pH. That pH balance be getting off. It don't work out so well for most of us doing that and being that type of reckless. We are physically not built to behave like that. So that's the thing that I'm just like mind blown by. She don't need your concern. Don't worry about her. You keep being the dog that you've been being to this great woman that you got, that you wish you had. You got her. You just don't want her. You doing the same thing.
You
You doing
very
the very
happy.
same thing.
I would say, in those probably people in those comments, they're probably the same people that months ago when they were trying to say, I see why he cheated, or I see why he's wanted a divorce when she was out here looking crazy or whatever,
Right.
and y'all ain't really know this woman's story until she came up on here and said this is her story.
And that he
Those
had
are
her looking like that.
hey, had her looking like had the listen. I would stand up, but she had the army fatigue on. What they say, the beret of
The helmet of
salvation.
salvation, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She was out here looking like a warrior for her, whatever. And y'all
He
like, I
was
see
my
why
man, my
she
man, my man.
right.
My man, my man, my man.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take
Going
you
to the
down.
ends of the earth for
And
this
now they
man.
like, yeah. Now you see, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that's every woman's story, but there are a lot of women,
It's a lot.
A lot of
It's
seventy
it is
percent.
yes,
a
and
lot.
it's just crazy to me. But I'm glad she was able. That was only part one, right? So the part part two of this interview on the My Future Wifey podcast. It's supposed to be coming out tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little bit more, in detail and a little bit more, salacious is what they're saying. That's when she'll start talking about her studying the other women and their bodies and everything like that. I feel like I'm glad she's able to get her side out and so coherently and so without all of the, you
Yeah.
know, on a 4K, 8K camera and not a fuzzy, phone or webcam or whatever it was they were using. She's able to, really kind of like tell her truth. Um,
Yeah.
and I would say Derek better not say a damn thing.
He just told her
He's
Happy Mother's Day with his trash self. He had a whole post about to her for Mother's Day. Did he know she was getting ready to do this
I
podcast?
don't know. I don't know.
I hate him. Real Bravado Network says, "Don't put that clown on us. The glove and the jacket don't fit.
But
oh
We'll
y'all
yeah,
fix
it
put
her
do.
quick."
But y'all put them
It come in
clowns
multiple
on
sizes.
us.
Y'all
I'm
could probably
saying
get the cat. Y'all can get the glove and the jacket on his website.
y'all get every ratchet. I'm talking about every ratchet reaction video that I've seen when it comes to black women, and it's a blanket of black women. Black women don't want this. Black women do it like this. Black women, they
These
rather
modern
do
black
this
women,
and
get your
that.
passports. They
And
ain't
we
that.
continue to say, yeah, don't put them clowns on us,
That
right?
ain't us.
We could, and I
If
understand.
that's us, y'all
I
Derrick
understand what Real
Jackson.
Bravado is saying there, but I'm saying that like somebody said, it cuts both
Mm.
ways. It cuts both ways, and it's just like we gotta understand there's nuances in people. Can we, use statistics and say certain things, whatever? But a lot of times, sometimes, especially on a platform like this, a lot of times you're like, well, hold on, who you talking about? Because I ain't never really twerked on the head like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never really got on top of a car, at Freaknik and like twerked it out. So why you say all black women, all they want to do is, twerk, wear they weave, what I'm saying, wear makeup, have, five different baby daddies when that, really ain't the case.
And that they just leaving because they ain't happy because they want to spend up all your money.
No,
Whatever.
y'all be having these break babies and multiple women. We choose to look the other way.
We do.
Maybe
We
we
sure
just don't
do.
feel like having an argument that day. Like it's just like
Maybe
okay.
they gonna let you cheat in peace, and y'all can't even accept that. They want to argue about they cheating in peace. They won't even keep their own peace. I'm sick of these men.
Listen, ladies, listen. If you find out he's cheating, go ahead and get your exit plan together.
Get your
Okay,
plan together.
get your exit plan
Compose
together
yourself and get your
before
plan.
you bring the evidence to him. Okay, because I promise you, the moment he knows that you know and you ain't said nothing or you
Well,
ain't.
she asked him on the thing. She's on the interview. She said specifically to him, like, "Do you even believe the stuff that you saying on the internet?" And he
Mm-hmm,
broke up with her.
mm-hmm. And she got back
Like,
with him.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta keep the bills paid, though.
I'm gonna tell you, Derek. I'm gonna tell you, like, I know what he was saying. I know a lot of men don't like what he was saying, but I promise, he is someone who looked at the market and said, "Poop, I know how to make a buck, and this is where I'm going."
With that thing, what was that analysis, that
Yep,
market thing
yep,
that just Pearly did
yep,
is broke, busted men that just want to be heard. That's what you called it, or something like that.
yep. That's what he
So yeah.
did. That's what
Hmm.
he did, and he ain't, no different from the worst of them. Honestly, he just had a degree, and he looked good,
He was
Yeah.
and
telling his story from a third person
there he
perspective.
was.
He was. Yeah.
There he was.
Yes, he was. He did a great job. Amazing at it. But again, we all have personas. And again, I think it's important to not just be like, oh, slander Derrick Jaxn. Everybody on social media got a fake persona and they have different lives behind the
Hmm.
camera.
Even me.
And it's just we all, everybody does. I think that whoever's watching this, whoever sees this, like, don't be Derrick Jaxn, Everybody that you watch, down to the YouTube channels, They be doing stuff different than what they be talking on the internet and on the social media.
Yep,
Okay,
because I'm
it
for
is
real.
what it is.
I'm a housewife.
It is what it is. So, anywho,
I just like to wear fatigues every now and then.
shout out
I'm
to the No
over
Limit Soldiers.
it. I'm over it.
All right. Well, all right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We've been out here for about an hour and a half, y'all. I would love to keep this conversation going. Maybe we'll catch up next week and cover the second part of the interview. I don't know. We're gonna see if y'all want to talk about it. Let us know in the comments. Also, give us some other topics, y'all. What y'all want to talk about? Because this was a good conversation. It was a good homegirl talk. This is really how we be talking behind the scenes, y'all. Just minus like the wine and the cuss words, because we be letting them fly. So, all right. All right. Anyway, guys, please make sure you have subscribed, hit the like button and the notification bell so you'll know the next time we go live. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Oh, have a great day. Oh, happy Memorial Weekend. Have a great day.
Yes.